This is a $1.1 million EarthRoamer, and this is our version, a 2003 Ford E350 that we built over the course of 2 years with $100,000. We've been traveling full-time for 4 months now. We've gone off-road, gotten stuck, we've even broken down, but this rig has managed to take us to some of the most incredible places we've ever been to. We'll be going through a full exterior tour today, but be sure you're subscribed because an interior tour is coming soon.
So probably one of the most asked questions is about our paint job. We decided to use a product called Raptor Liner, and it's actually a bed liner that was custom tinted to make the exact perfect color that we wanted, this blue. We got a little crazy and we decided we were just gonna shoot it ourselves, and we did all the masking, all the prep, all the spraying, and I don't even remember how many coats are on it, but we're really thrilled with how it turned out. So far it's held up so well as we've taken it off-roading and really beat on it and put it through the paces, and if we get a little scratch, it just busts right out. So the front end of the rig's probably one of my favorite parts, and I love this bumper that U-Joint Off-Road fabricated for us. It's actually all aluminum, which is pretty unique for Ford E350s. A lot of companies like to do them in steel, and it makes it really light, which is nice when you're a rig this large. They also put in a 12,000-pound Warn winch, and then we went to yank them and got this fair lead, which I really like because there's no metal components. So if you're doing a recovery and something breaks, you don't have to worry about getting hurt or damaging your vehicle. U-Joint also put in a Anderson plug, which allows you to make connections to jump a vehicle or to run any power without going under the hood. And they also put in this connection here for an air compressor so you can fill up your tires from the onboard air system. We added a couple additional recovery points. And then in the bumper here, this is actually a spot for lighting. We got what we like to call the poverty package, which means that we need to add in some fog lights at some point. So actually, if you guys want to go and tag Baja Design or Rigid, maybe they'll throw some our way. You know how that goes. We also changed out the grille and the lights. These were just eBay specials, but honestly, we're really thrilled with how they performed and how they've looked. And other than that, let's roll into the suspension. So when we first bought the van, it looked nothing like an Overland vehicle, so we knew it was time to get serious and make some modifications. When we went to U-Joint Off-Road, they converted it to 4-wheel drive. They added a 6-inch lift, and when they did that, they had to make the front end a solid front axle. We went with their Stage 3 Dana 60. They put 456 gears in and a Detroit True Track locker, and that's really helped to get us out of some tight situations. They also added Fox 2.0 shocks. They upgraded our brakes to 14.5-inch rotors. They put on American Racing 17-inch wheels to clear the rotors, and then wrapped that in Falcon Wild Peak 33-inch tires. So now if we ever get in a pinch, we just lock in the hubs and go. All right, and moving on to the driver's side, we added these Bushwhacker fenders just to help keep the side of the vehicle clean when we're off-road. We did swap out the mirrors. These are actually heated, and they also have turn signals integrated into them. This is our hot water heater, which works about half the time, but it's better than nothing. We have 2 compartments we cut in here, and then we have one more behind the rear wheels, and that's just to add more storage. We try to utilize every bit that we have here. We have our water filtration in here. We also have our onboard air compressor from ARB, and then our grill and just kind of miscellaneous tools and whatnot. This is where we hook up to shore power and where we fill our water. So we're kind of constantly having access to these every week when we're topping off our tanks. These are our Max Tracks, which came in huge handy a few weeks ago, got us out of a tight spot. They've been good. And we actually mounted them on this custom table. And this is kind of the dirty table. If I'm working on anything or need to throw gear on, this is the one I use. It's stainless steel, really easy to clean. So that's a really nice bonus to have. While we're here, The rear end, we are a dually because we're so big and heavy. U-Joint Off-Road actually custom makes these wheels. They take a 17-inch Dodge wheel, machine them, and then powder coat them. And then these are in the same Falcon Wild Peak tires that we have in the front. This is where we fill our diesel, nothing crazy there. And this is our ladder that we use all the time just to access the roof. And also, if we want to see if we're going to clear something, we'll hop up there. And I think that's pretty much it for the driver's side. Let's move on to the back. And onto the rear of the vehicle. As you can see, the back does a lot of the heavy lifting for us as far as storage. So when it started out, it was literally just a stock basic bumper. We then actually found a tire swing out off of a Hummer, and we adapted it and made it work, welded it all together, and then did the same black Raptor paint that you see around the perimeter of the vehicle. We carry a full-size spare tire. It's actually the same wheel as the rear tire, and in a tight spot, if the front needs a spare, we can run it backwards for a short period of time. We carry 2 jerry cans. The blue one is water, and it's a whole water filtration system built into it, and the black one is diesel. It's an extra 5 gallons of diesel. We have 2 bikes, one on each side, and they're on 1-up carriers. They've been really great for us. They're easy to get on and off, and they feel really secure. Highly recommended. We also have a trash bag. It's from Overland Vehicle Systems. It's done what it should, no complaints there. And then we carry 2 Yeti boxes that are locked up top. They're both waterproof. The top one has all our camping gear in it that's just big and bulky. The bottom one's a lot of extra parts and some light tools that we don't need all the time. We don't access them often, but when we need them, and they've worked great for us. If you swing out the tire carrier, we carry a safe jack, which hopefully we don't have to use, but it is there if we need it. We also have a spot to hang our chainsaw and our shovel. I just haven't gotten to it yet. I will get there. Rear view camera. We have 2 recovery points down below. And then we also, all the way down here, have a tube that carries our Stinky Slinky, and if you know what that is, you know what that is. Underneath, we just installed a new exhaust system that you guys probably saw a couple weeks ago, and last week we also put in a 60-gallon tank, which is a lot longer range. So between the 60-gallon tank and the 5-gallon jerry, we now have 65 gallons of gas, which is pretty good even at 10 miles to the gallon. Not too bad. In the rear end, we have the same 456 gears. U-Joint also went to an Alcan spring, and they actually weighed the vehicle and matched the springs to the weight of our vehicle, and it's driven really nice. We do not run a sway bar in the rear, which at first I was a little concerned about, but it was really cool to see the rear end and how much flex it had a few weeks ago, which is really cool for such a big vehicle. You'd expect that more from a Jeep or a light truck, not from something this large. And other than that, let's move on to the passenger side. This is kind of the side we chill on. We have an outdoor shower here, and this has really come in handy when it comes to rinsing off our feet and our gear and even washing the dog. Here we have a table, and this is where we set up our grill and we cook at. We also put speakers and drinks on here. We have another storage compartment cut in here. When we bought the van, there was actually a window on the other side of the door, and we didn't really like the location. It didn't work for our layout. So we went to Overland and got their windows and then their door. And this door is really cool. It's allegedly bear-proof, which I hope we never find out if that's true or not. But it has a really neat screen system and locking system that's really come in handy for cooling down the van at night. Then moving on, this is our propane locker, and we just keep any propane and gas, anything that needs to be vented in here. And then below that, we have another onboard airport so that we can pump our tires up and down. This is our 14-foot awning, which is really great to have on days like today when it's a little rainy out or when we need some shade. It's fully electric, so all you gotta do is press a button and it comes out and goes back in whenever you want it to. And then moving on from there, on the roof, we built an 80/20 roof rack that runs around the whole perimeter. And we have 600 watts of solar on there, which has done a really good job of topping off our batteries. We cut an AC unit in, which we haven't really used too much yet because it hasn't been super hot, but I'm sure that'll be really nice when we need it. And then we mounted a Starlink up there, which can easily be removed if we find ourselves covered by trees or there's obstructions. And then lastly, we just kind of use the roof for storage. We have 2 crash pads up there, and we have a kayak that we store up there, and we just hop up on the ladder whenever we need them.
So I guess the question is, were we able to create an EarthRoamer that costs $1.1 million at a fraction of the cost?
I think it's tough because I think the crux of these vehicles is they're so big, especially the EarthRoamer, that it's only able to go to wide open spaces like we're in now. And most of those places that you can take it are generally pretty accessible with most off-road capable vehicles.
Sure.
What I like about our vehicle versus an EarthRoamer is we're about 5,000 pounds less than the smallest size they have, which in all fairness is 29 feet, we're 24 feet. But I will say I do think an EarthRoamer is probably a little more off-road capable in a very equal scenario. That being said, on the highway, I think I would take ours all day.
Yeah.
And I personally think, based on what I've read, I've never driven an EarthRoamer, that sometimes they have too much tech. Like guys are replacing airbags and, you know, things that seem really cool, but in the long run could be maintenance issues. And I think we have a simpler rig. That being said, would it be nice to have a brand new vehicle with all brand new features?
Yes.
That has, I think, a warranty. It's got to have a warranty.
Yeah.
Yes. But at a build price equal to their deposit, I think we did a pretty good job.
Cheers.
Cheers to that. Good job.
Good job. Let us know what you think in the comments below.
Is our end?
Here, try to catch one. Oh.
Do you see this? Oh, you got people coming down our spot. Why are you talking like that?
I don't know.